Welcome back to 10 Foot Customs, and it's probably been a couple weeks since you saw the last Annabelle Fiero video, and that's the one where we're pretty sure we realized that the clutch plate is on backwards. So today we're going to try to solve that problem, or at least check if that's the problem. And we're going to try to blow the entire back end apart in one day and possibly put it all back together in one day. It would be great if we could. I don't know if we'll get that far. But that's kind of the plan. So this is all gonna be done in time lapse until we get into there. Then I'll come back to normal speed. But we're gonna try to do the whole thing in time lapse and just explode it, put it all back together. Sam's gonna start with getting the wheels off. I'm gonna get the clutch cables and slave cylinder off. Then we're gonna have to put the board across to support the engine and get the suspension off. Then drop the cradle. At that point, we are at the point of being able to get to the clutch. And yeah, that's the plan. So stick with us on this one. It should hopefully be a quick video because it's all done in time lapse. It should be pretty quick, so hang around. Well, we've gotten to a point where we're gonna break for lunch, but we have the axles and struts out. The cradle is ready to come out. I got the 2 front nuts off of the bolts, and so we just gotta pull those bolts out and then drop the 2 bolts from here. And then what we should have did first, which I wasn't thinking about, is we have to get the slave cylinder and shift cables disconnected, and now they're underneath this board and the car's this much taller. So we should have done that before we put the car in the air, but whatever, we can get it from the bottom. Once that's done, actually we can drop the cradle before we get those shift cables and stuff off.
Because it's still being supported by the...
Right, I mean, actually it'll be easier to access them with the cradle out of the way.
Okay.
So we'll get the cradle dropped. That should take us about 10 minutes or so, 20 minutes, half hour most to get the cradle out of the way. And then yeah, once the cradle's out, we can get those last couple things disconnected. And then it's 5, should be 6, but it's 5 bolts on the transmission, and the transmission comes out.
Why do we only have 5?
Because that's how it came. Oh. It's race lightened. Ah. That's why. Someone was trying to make it a race car, so they took 1 bolt out of the bell housing. We should probably replace it at some point, but
I mean,
it came that way.
I'm gonna be drag racing all the time.
Yeah, you're gonna be drag racing all the time. So
racing.
Yeah. So we're gonna go get some lunch, and then we'll get it again, and you'll see us back in time lapse getting the cradle out. All of the bolts are out of the transmission. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this out. It's kind of falls funny when it comes out, so we're gonna have to be careful not to drop it. But with 2 of us, I did this by myself and it worked. So you're gonna want to put your hand like right here to support it while we pull it. Like I can push. No, you just no, not like that. Be up on your knees.
We'll shift it over when we need it. Right.
Okay. So now you're going to start pulling the jack out while supporting it. I'm going to push.
How heavy is it?
It's not heavy, but you just got to get it to come out. Come down a little bit. We might be too high. Okay. You might be pinching it. Hold on. I'm going to get a screwdriver in here. Start working it. There you go. We're moving it now.
Should I still be supporting?
Nope.
Should I lower it?
Start sliding the jack out. It has to come straight out. You can't lower it till it's straight out. pull it back. No. All that still looks fine. Throwout bearing is correct and in and done, so that's all good. Okay, I think it's a 13 millimeter on an impact. Four, 5, and 6. This is how it's in currently.
Okay.
I see no wording on this side that says where it should go. If I flip it over, there's nothing written on this side.
Says where it should be.
The only things that are on it are these numbers. And I thought I saw an MT somewhere. There's nothing on this plate that tells you which way it goes.
No.
Currently we had it like this.
Yes.
So can it go like this? No, it can't. It can't, unless we have the wrong clutch.
Which we shouldn't.
It can't go that way. So we did have it right. So this has to go this way. So the clutch plate was right. Unless we have some of the wrong clutch.
I don't see how we could.
I mean, that can go this way, obviously. But this cannot face that because it hits. Now I'm frustrated that we took it all apart again. Again, unless somehow we got the wrong clutch. Oops. Oops, we just threw it out of there. We should only throw that far. That's like an inch of throw. And it's been throwing that far because you can see it's been throwing that far. And we've watched it throw this far. And it fits tight in that bearing, so it means the bearing's not worn out. Well, we're gonna have to leave this part of this episode like this. I'm gonna do more research on this to see why this doesn't work. I mean, there's a chance we got the wrong clutch, but I highly doubt it. Everything bolts up and fits, and can this be on backwards? Because Kobe put the throw bearing on backwards? No, you can't do that either. Throw bearing can't be on backwards. Yeah, I can't, because this side doesn't spin. It can only go on this way. This is a different throwout bearing that's fatter. But this looked just like the throwout bearing that we threw away. Well, we're going to have to leave this part of the episode, do some research, and we'll get back to you on this one because this should work. This should not be doing what it's doing. And we did have it correct. Annabelle is down. We think finally for the last time. Since the last video you saw, we were kind of dumbfounded as why we still didn't have a clutch. Clutch plate was in properly. So I called around, found a guy on a Facebook forum who what he does is works on Fieros. He gave me some pointers to look at. He said everything we did was correct. We had everything on the car proper. What I did to finally make sure that we had it right was I had Sam get in the car, push the clutch, because we bled it again. He says it's probably air. We bled it again for probably 2 hours.
Yeah. And
still had no more clutch movement than we had before. So what I did was I had Sam push the clutch. I watched the arm move. I got a pry bar in there and I pried it further. And if you're familiar with how a compound bow works, it kind of is how it felt. It was hard to push, and then it went easy. And then we checked and the clutch, had disengaged, so it could spin the axle, and that was fantastic news. So then I called him again. I'm like, this is what I've got. I know the clutch works. I just can't get it to work with, function with the car. So he told me to check my master cylinder, and there's an adjuster, because this is an aftermarket master, and there's an adjuster on it. And so I adjusted it out, probably way more than it should be, but in doing so, the clutch now disengages. So 3 weeks ago, had I just continued on with my how it should work, and what things I had to do with Ruby to make hers work by lengthening out the push rod, I just had to do more.
But we did get stuff that needed to be done on the car that would have to be done anyways.
Absolutely. We also made more work for ourselves.
That is true, but
one of the axle boots ripped, so they're brittle and they're old. So he's gonna order one of those up and we'll replace the axle boot. But we're now going to jump in here and see if this thing moves under its own power and doesn't grind and everything else. So let me move the camera around to the other side here. Okay, let's see what this does. For now, I'm just going to back it up and down the driveway just to see what it does. Make sure we have the gearing,
everything,
and it works.
I move forward.
What's that?
Anyway, I moved my seat a little too forward for you.
And we have hub oil in it, and everything's in it.
Yep.
Or trans fluid, not hub oil. Trans fluid is in it. Okay. Clutch. And it feels like it's got the clutch that we want to feel.
Right,
we are neutral. Car starts, which has never been a problem. There's a gear. That's second.
First?
There's first. Now let's see how reverse. I had to adjust the cable for reverse. So let's see.
Is that reverse?
That's reverse.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Put the window down. Where's the window down? Rotors are...
Why are we rich?
Okay, your car's been rich.
It smells more rich than usual. Is that vibrating the rotors? Trying
Oh, the rotors are definitely crunchy.
After a bit of driving, that'll fix it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take it down the block again. Okay, so reverse is still
rough.
Not great, but second and first is fine. And if you find first, you've stopped the transmission enough that it goes right in.
What about third, fourth, and fifth?
Fifth, third, fourth, third. They're all there.
Okay, just reverse. Reverse is always an issue though, more so than usual.
Well.
Why is it? You got that alignment?
If something's hitting or something.
Something's hitting or just...
I don't know. Something doesn't feel right.
No. Or it could be also that I'm on like totally flat tires.
It's smoothed out. Second gear works fine. Third gear. Fourth gear. Fifth gear. All the gears are there. And we know we can get, I think I just have to adjust the adjuster
again,
just a hair bit more to give us. Okay, there's second. Yeah, I think the alignment's just really far off.
It's just vibrating it down?
Yeah. Yeah, first, then we reverse.
Okay. Right, do that for a little bit. Actually, no, if we adjust it, maybe tomorrow.
I wonder if it's... we kept your same axles, right?
Yes,
I think so.
We kept one of them at least.
Something's weird back there. So we're gonna have to figure out what's going on back there. Once we're moving, it's fine though. Just under slow speed. Clutch feels fine. So we're probably gonna have to just adjust the pedal push rod a hair bit more, maybe another turn or two.
Okay.
And if that works, because there's reverse, went right in. And again, I might have to break in just a little bit too. I gotta figure out what the crunchy. Again, it could just be the alignment. I think the tires are either pushing or they're pulling. So it could just be like dragging the tires around.
Yeah.
Because it definitely didn't do that before.
Or.
And it almost, you know what? It almost feels like the Posi rear end when I had Ruby, the Posi rear end. Kind of what it feels like. So we're gonna call this fixed as far as the clutch, and we did have it right. So that's good for my own peace of mind that I did have it right. We just have to figure out now, again, I think alignment, but the car runs and drives, goes into all the gears it's supposed to go into, which is good. And that's it. So thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope everybody has a great week.